How are things looking? What are the prospects of containing these fires before those catastrophic conditions hit?
Well, the community heard from the incident controller yesterday, who outlined the effort that's being given to contain, and rest assured that they're throwing everything at it: aircraft, on-ground services, and incredible effort by a number of agencies in terms of trying to contain this. So, we're hopeful that everything that's being done is being done.
What are the greatest areas of concern for you at the moment?
Well, I think from a council perspective, we're just one of a number of agencies that have a role in this, and we take advice from the incident controller. Essentially, our efforts are around ensuring that we best support our community from a relief perspective and the provision of information as best we can. So to that extent, relief centres for people to be able to go to, providing information to help people make good choices, essentially.
There were a couple of hundred people at a meeting late yesterday. What was the mood in the community at the time?
Look, this event's gone on for about 5 days, so there's a little bit of frustration creeping in, but essentially people were wanting information about what the projection of the fire is likely to be, what the forecast is, and a range of support services that are available to people that have been affected. So I think people left that meeting with a lot of reassurance that there's a lot of people, a lot of agencies working hard to get on top of this event. I think they got a lot of good information, and I guess it'll help people to make the right choices for the days ahead, and particularly on Wednesday when they've got to be prepared to make some decisions for themselves, for their own safety.
Just outline for us what those decisions might be. What sort of things are people considering?
Yeah, well, it depends on where people are living, and essentially it's about where they get their information, making sure they get their information up to date, and they heed the warnings that are being issued at the time. I guess for many people, the safest choice for people is to leave and to go to somewhere that is safe, particularly if they're in a warning area. And yeah, that always remains the safest option. Preparing their own homes, perhaps to protect animals. Obviously, we're in a rural community, so a lot of animals to take care of here. So moving stock into places that are going to give them the best chances of survival. People have to make choices about what they do with their pets. In a situation where, this turns nasty.
You mentioned support services being offered before. What sort of support is being offered to people who are affected?
Well, certainly for people that have to relocate and that have been otherwise affected, there are some payment arrangements that have been made through DHHF, and their emergency support in the short term. In terms of the farming community, some of the issues that they're looking for relate to stock and fencing and the disposal of stock that have been killed through this event, and fencing to contain and protect their existing stock, and being able to access fodder and water for their stock. So for farmers, it's a really big deal, those sorts of supports. And of course, some of the frustration is the fact that the fire ground, the area that's been affected, is really not safe to actually go into now. So restricted access for people is something that I know that the incident controller and the CFA and the police are really assisting to do the best they can to support people in that way. I guess for other people in more urban centres, the support is about having some relief where they can go if they have to leave, being able to find accommodation for people where they're having to leave their homes and they don't have family or friends to go to. These are some of the supports that are being provided at the moment.
Jim, we'll be thinking about your community now and in the next few days. Best of luck with what's to come, and thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jeremy.